Time together with time to spare, time to look, time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a new way of forgiving somewhere. There's a place for us, somewhere a place for us. Hold my hand and we're halfway there. Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Somehow, someday, somewhere. Somehow, someday, somewhere. Somehow, someday, somewhere. Somehow, someday, somewhere.
Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the long-timers and the newcomers, the beloved and the broken-hearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. We're so glad to welcome our friends on live stream. And happy almost fall equinox. Tomorrow will be nearly equally balanced between daylight and nighttime. And let this season be a chance for you to restore a sense of balance in your own life. If you're new to Throop, we'd love to stay in touch with you. You can fill out an info card that you'll find in the pew back in front of you and hand it into an usher a little later in the worship service. And each Sunday, we are reminded that each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of prayer and healing. The flame from our chalice instills in us a sense of coming home. May its light move us from feeling isolated or alone to restoring our connection with one another and with all creation. We belong together. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop is the unceded land of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into dismantling systems of supremacies and oppressions. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. And we take a moment of silence holding all of these in our hearts.
And as we can continue to think about what's important to us, we join together in our opening hymn, Wake Now My Senses, number 298, and the gray hymnal. And I invite you all to rise and sing out as body and spirit allow, number 298. Take a moment, turn to your neighbor, and welcome them into worship.
Wake now, compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the heart's cry. Take as your neighbor, both stranger and friend, praising and striving their hardships to wait now, compassion, if justice I guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted our privileged place. God's word embraces the whole human race. Wake now, my vision of ministry clear. Lighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work toward our planet, transformed by our care. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work toward a planet transformed by our care.
Transforming our planet takes many different ways, many different hands, and we saw a piece of that yesterday here at Throop. We gathered a group of volunteers for our fall Throop Learning Garden Workday. I'd like to thank Paula for organizing that group. I'm not sure where Paula is in the room. She's on campus. We had 17 people who showed up yesterday and hauled around mulch. I think there's still a tiny little bit left in the parking lot only. And we had people making beautiful bouquets out of dried seed pods on the patio. And I would like to thank those who attended: Winnie, Chris, David, Nathan, Randy, Jamal, Vahe, Michael, Lou, Clara, Paula, Dave, Ripley, Barbara. Did I get Rachel in there? Rachel, hello. And Jorge and me. It was a great time. And we do it every quarter, and so keep your ears and eyes and senses open for the winter quarter when we'll be inviting people back. It'd be great to have you join us. And as we celebrate all the ways we care and tend to our earth, I invite you all to share in our Throop Promise to Our Planet. The words are in your order of worship. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself.
We welcome the autumnal equinox and our fall liturgical season with its reminder to restore our relationships with each other. With today's responsive reading written by late Unitarian Universalist minister Mark Ward. The congregational response will be, "May we feel the blessings of belonging." As chill winds blast the last autumn leaves from the trees, we gather with new purpose. In each other's company, we find warmth against the approach of winter's cold. May we feel the blessings of belonging. We look to the bounty of harvest to sustain us while the earth sleeps, and we attend again to the wider circles of relationship, reminded of the connections on which we depend. May we feel the blessings of belonging. In each face, some softening with age, some blooming into maturity, we see the human story revealed, the journey we each walk from mystery to mystery. May we feel the blessings of belonging. There is cause for gratitude for the love we share, even if imperfect and not always fully realized. Every day of our journeys, we are given new opportunities to accept and to give love. May we feel the blessings of belonging.
Thank you.
Today's lesson is entitled Cutting the String. We have two people holding one end of a long piece of yarn or string. One person, you can come over here. One person cuts the string, while another person ties it. It is said that God up in heaven holds each one of us by a string. When we sin, we are in essence cutting the string. The connection between ourselves and God ourselves and what we know, ourselves and others. When we cut the string, we realize what we have done. We ask for God's help or forgiveness, and she ties the string again, making a knot, and thereby bringing us closer. Again, we cut the string. And again, our Creator reties it. Again and again, we cut the string. And again, our Creator reties it. With each knot, our string becomes shorter and shorter, and we are drawn closer and closer to God. Thank you.
Thank you, Throop players and Maggie today. And our children continue creating connections and discovering ways that they tie one another's strings when needed. And I this morning would like to invite Isla and Hayo to come up to the chancel, and they're going to light our children's program lantern with the light from our chalice flame, symbolizing that even as they leave our sanctuary to be in the Kids Dig In program, they carry our collective light with them. And we sing them into the Kids Dig In program, and those words, the lyrics, are in your order of worship.
For you shall go out in joy,
For you shall go out in joy and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be. And today's wisdom, inspired by our earth, is the poem Do Stones Feel by Mary Oliver. Do stones feel? Do stones love their life? Or does their patience drown out everything else? When I walk on the beach, I gather together a few white ones, black ones, multicolored ones. Don't worry, I say, I'll bring you back. And I do. Is the tree, as it rises with its many branches, each one like a poem, delighted? Are the clouds glad to unburden their bundles of rain? Most of the world says no, it's not possible. I refuse to think of such a conclusion. Too terrible it would be to be wrong.
Congregation, if you would like to follow along, please turn in your gray hymnals to number 317. We are not our own, earth names us, human leaves on nature's growing vine, fruit of many generations, seeds of life divine. We are not alone, earth names us, past and present, peoples near and far, family and friends and strangers, show us who we are. Therefore let us make thanksgiving, and with justice willing and aware, give to earth and all things living liturgies of care. Let us be a house of welcome, living stone upholding living stone, gladly showing all our neighbors we are not our own. We are not.
And as we continue to think about the many ways we share our gifts at Throop, I am so glad to introduce Hillary Platt, now Member Engagement Team Coordinator, to share with you a little bit about our fall Troopathon. Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you. Good morning. As we think about belonging, one of the ways in which I see it exemplified at Throop is the sharing of our activities across committees and teams and members and friends. So as part of the member engagement team, I'm happy to share a little bit on behalf of our stewardship committee. And just so you know who's on that committee again, it's Matthew as the chair, Christy, Jen, Karen, and Jesse.
Yay!
So in full support of what they have coming up, we and I hope all of the other teams and volunteers at Throop will lend their support for Troopathon. If talent, thank you. If time, talent, and treasure, in my opinion, had a baby, it would be Troopathon.
Yay!
It is the coming together of all of those things and the way in which it offers all of us a part to participate however we choose. So you can be a volunteer, you can add your treasure, and that's what I'm here to share, just a bit of encouragement today. What Troopathon offers is an opportunity for all of us to find a way to share an item, an event, a passion, a talent, and it is as varied as the members and friends here today. So think about what you might like to do and ways to contribute if you choose. So a few of the things already that will be available for you to participate in through your bidding at our event, Troops event on October 18th, include just a few highlights: baked goods and board games, a guided full moon hike at Griffith Park, dinner in a home with a very talented young chef, Isla, a holiday wine tasting, tennis, a lovely condo retreat for a few nights, should you choose, lunches and private parties. The list looks really great.
Mm-hmm.
So as you think about, and I know 2 years ago when I experienced the first Troopathon for me, I thought, oh, I don't really have a talent. I'm not sure what I would do. And someone suggested, think of it as offering anything that suits you. Do you dance? Do you dog sit? Do you love to host a party? Do you hate to host a party, but you love to garden? Do you want to help someone learn to macrame? Do you want to do just about anything that comes to mind that fits your interest so that it's fun? And then that's the talent, how does treasure fit in? Because everyone is invited to the party on October 18th, where we have an opportunity to bid on all the fabulous items and contribute to the well-being of Throop as a whole. Mm-hmm. So please check all of the information available during coffee hour. There's also a great link in Throop Tidings where you can sign up for an item, and just know that this is only possible with the support of everyone in our Throop community. Thank you.
Thank you, Fillory, and aren't we so glad to have Fillory back with us in the role of an active volunteer? And this church truly is ours, and as you just heard from Fillory, we support it through our gifts of time and talent and treasure, and we pause each week in worship for a moment of financial generosity and give you the opportunity to make a gift to Throop. You can give online. Those directions are in the order of worship, or you can make a gift here in the room. And if you're a first-time visitor, we ask that you let the offering plate pass you by. The morning offering will now be gratefully received.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be at your back. May all the rains fall with tenderness on the fields and forgotten tracks. May your hardened heart be woken by the soft and distant song of all you left here unspoken, all the shards we keep stepping on. Take this body home, take this body home, call the wind and let her know. Take this life outgrown, take this broken soul, call the stars, call them all. Take it high, take it far, take it home. May the dark and bitter feelings take the path to sweet release. May all your wounds find their healing in the last and undaring sleep. Take this body home, take this body home, call the wind and let her know. Take this life outgrown, take this broken soul, call the stars, call them all. And take it high, take it far, take it home. Take it high, take it far, take it home, home. Take it high, take it far, take it home. Take it high, take it far, take it home. Take this body home, take this body home, call the wind and let her know. Take this life outgrown, take this broken soul, call the stars, call them all. Take it high, take it far, take it home. Take it high, take it far, take it home.
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up those supporting today's worship service. I'd like to thank Spencer on live stream and also serving as our worship associate today, Cynthia for being our greeter and usher, Rachel, our worship team coordinator. I'd like to thank Jamie leading the children's program today, Hillary with your Throop-a-thon invitation, Tom, our coffee and conversation host, Winnie and the pastoral care team. I'd like to thank Throop players, Spencer, Jack, Arv, Tammy, and Maggie making an appearance as an angel. Love it. And always, always, always Malcolm and choir for your uplifting music and your dedication to the music program here, and Jessica for all of her administrative support. As we pause in recognition for all the ways we support our Throop community life, I invite you to share those words of gratitude in the order of worship. With gratitude for the ministries of the church that hold us and embolden us to love the world, we bless our offering and the many gifts we share. And one way gifts are shared here in the congregation is through our pastoral care team, and Winnie, our pastoral care team coordinator, has a few words to share.
Good morning. So we are your pastoral care team here. I'm gonna first ask them to introduce their names and their pronouns.
I'm Rachel Ryan, and I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Clara Clara, and I also use she, her pronouns.
We also have Jean, who's away at a wedding, and then we have Taryn, pronouns with he, him, and I'm sorry, Jean says she, her. And then we also have Karen on live stream, pronouns she, her. And my name is Winnie, and my pronouns is also she, her. So take a moment to remember these beautiful faces. Yours are beautiful too. I'll let you know why later. So many of us came to Throop to seek a spiritual community. Our team is to help build that community and create a sense of belonging. And we do that in two ways. The first one is that we want to be standing by you in times of sorrow or trouble or joy. And we do that by lending our listening ears, our helping hands. And some of you may also receive cards from us. So recognizing the faces and the name so that you can just grab any of us anywhere, or text us or call us when you have time for need or exciting news to share. And the second ways we do that is to help you provide us care for each other. And we have Rachel here to share with you how you might do that.
So I don't feel like I'm talking to you about anything new, because we all do so much for each other already. I see it every day. Yesterday, someone who couldn't come to help with the gardening sent someone else to help in their place, and very generously. And this morning, someone brought me a collection of tomatoes from their garden, and I cannot wait to go home and eat them. And I just am asking you to, maybe if you haven't already figured out a way to reach out to someone for some care that you need, or if you haven't figured out a way to plug yourself in to providing care, we're going to try to help you out by providing some cards that you can fill out. Hopefully, eventually it will be online, but right now it's in paper. And Taryn designed this beautiful box for us, which might look simple, but if you look more closely, Taryn explained to me how all of the sides represent different parts of our community. So it's really very special. These will be in the back of the sanctuary where the candles are. And just to clarify, because there's a lot of stuff going on that table now, there is one card that's called the Prayer for Healing and Hope card, which is something that you want Tara to bring into the service each week. Like maybe you need a special prayer mentioned if someone is ill or if you're struggling with something, and you want that to happen right during the service. That can be mentioned either at that service or the following week. And then, or maybe you just want to talk to someone on the pastoral care team or to Tara, you can use that card also for that. And then there's other cards there that will be new that is a chance for you to say something that you would like, that you need help with, like a wish or a need. And then the other card is something that you feel like you can provide. Maybe you have extra time on Saturdays and you could help someone run an errand. And this is just the beginning. So, you know, if there's something that you don't see on the card, there's space for you to write it in. We also magically left out a spot for you to put your name on each card. So I had Dave go through very quickly and write a little spot that says name. So bear with us while we start this process, but we're hoping that it will just continue to grow our care for each other, which is already so wonderful to see every day. So I think that's all I'm supposed to say.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, pastoral care team. And as we hold that part of our Throop community life in our hearts and our minds, the way we care for one another, we turn to our centering hymn. It's in the teal hymnal, number 1001. It's called Breaths. And we'll sing that gently together.
So listen.
As we turn our hearts and spirits toward listening and reflection, I invite you all to join me in prayer. Breath of life and breath of love, help us restore our deepest held connections with ourselves, with one another, with our earth, with you. All around us daily, we're surrounded by messages that teach us that difference is bad, that it's to be avoided, and that instead we should create hard edges rather than nurture understanding. And we ask that we remember our shared belonging. Let us mimic the characteristics of water, its ability to adapt and flow, and let us be as solid as stone, resisting that which erodes our shared values of love, compassion, and justice. And let us be centered enough in ourselves that we're able to hold the balance of each, that we know when to be like water, when to be like stone. Always lead us back to belonging to one another, moving us from separation to connection, holding each other in our circles of care. For all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen. And our musical reflection is Hina Matov. It's number 392 in the Great Hymnal. We will be singing it together in Hebrew with Malcolm and choir leading us.
Please join us. Hine matovu manayim, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matovu manayim, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet haim gam yahad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet haim gam
The ragtag bunch of people moved toward the water's edge together as one strong body. The rabbi and the cantor waited for them in the shallows, their white talit or prayer shawls gently lifted up by the ocean breeze. The sun still sat a few inches above the horizon of the Pacific. And as the people approached, their faces showed a variety of emotions, some happy and eager, others pensive and serious, and still others uncertain, unused to the idea of embodied religious ritual. All ages, all backgrounds, some religiously observant, and others of the only once a year at high holy day variety. There was something common to all of them. And the commonality was the stones in their pockets. Some were filled so full that the weight of those stones pulled down on the elastic waistband of their trousers. And some had just a few carefully chosen pebbles in their hand. They gathered there on the beach to observe the Jewish ritual of Tashlik. Tashlik happens on Rosh Hashanah, right at the beginning of the days of awe. Rosh Hashanah is considered the birthday of the world, and it begins tomorrow night at sundown. And with each Rosh Hashanah, you wish each other Shana Tova, Happy New Year, Shana Tova, my people, Shana Tova. And after the joyful new year where you're dipping your apples in either agave or honey, you enter into a more reflective phase of these 10 days of awe as you move closer toward Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Tashlik means casting away. And the stones you carry are meant to symbolize your transgressions. You might call them sins or not. And you might just think of them as ways you have failed to live into your deeply held values in the previous year. The Tashlik ritual comes from a passage in Micah that says, "Cast all their sins into the depths of the sea." Holding on to the stones, you reflect on all the things you wish you had done better, had done differently, relationships that needed more tending, values that need to be lived more out loud out in the world. And after careful consideration of these things, you cast your stones into the water, casting away the myriad ways you didn't measure up to your own expectations, freeing your heart and spirit, at least in that moment, from any burdens of guilt you are carrying, so you can live in more alignment, live with more integrity in this new year to come. Rabbi Naomi Levy explains the spiritual significance of Tashlik. It's truly about releasing all the burdens of our hearts, whether it's misdeeds or simply what we've been carrying that impedes our own ability to fully embrace the new year. Tashlik, casting all their sins into the sea. Sin is a theological concept that we don't mention a whole lot in Unitarian Universalism. And I had to say, right before worship, one of you, when you heard what the story for all ages was about today, and it had to do with this concept of sin, which some of us carry and some of us don't, said to me, "You better not mess this one up, Pastor." And I thought I might just go back to my office and skip worship today. I grew up in a faith surrounded by a religious culture that had a lot to say about sin. And frankly, most of the time when it was talked about, it was with people that had a special zeal in their eye as they mentioned it. As a child, I worried so much about all the things I had done that God would think was absolutely terrible. And for some reason, one afternoon, my grandmother showed me a book of paintings that depicted sinners writhing in hell, in eternal hell. And even to this day, I'm like, why did my grandma show me that? She's Methodist. She's Methodist. And I would stay up at night as a kid, worried that those pictures in that book, that was my fate. Worried that God was just, so disappointed in me. And now as an adult, I realize that it turns out she or they weren't, and nor are they with you. These days, I think about this concept of sinning not as an individual act. It's not something, if you think of it as a concept that resonates in your heart, it's not something one person does that their religious community has deemed wrong and an act which angers or disappoints a deity. I really think of sinning as a collective act. It is harms and hurts that we as a society allow to happen. Harms against a person or groups of people, harms against animals, harms against our earth, harms that we know are happening, and yet we turn away from it and do nothing and let it persist. Like the story we heard earlier, thank you, Spencer, and those of you that helped. Sinning, to me, is an act of separating from one another. And for some of us, that act of separation then gets amplified because it becomes a separation between us and whoever it is that we name as holy and sacred in our lives. It's an act of tearing apart. We are living through a time of incredibly painful fracture. Some of you that have lived through previously tumultuous times, you have said, this is unlike anything you have experienced before. Friendships splinter over social media posts. Family gatherings are canceled due to political views. There are congregations right now that are falling apart because people get entrenched in their view. And part of that entrenchment becomes an inability to be able to speak the real ways that people are hurt and are hurting. The late Joanna Macy, Buddhist teacher and deep ecologist, wrote about the pattern we are experiencing all around us. This pattern of demonizing immigrants, this pattern of shouting down opponents, this pattern of dehumanizing our trans kin and anyone else who is deemed other. Macy wrote, "The truth is that all aspects of the current crisis reflect the same mistake, setting ourselves apart and using others for gain. A society built on separation rather than connection. A society built on tearing down rather than building up, built on othering rather than relishing in the incredible possibility of belonging to the sacredness of one another. How many stones must be thrown into the water to atone for the ways we humans create barriers between us? Macy studied systems theories, and she considered the times we are living through. She called this time the Great Turning. And by that, she meant that the interconnected environmental and social crises we are living through is a painful transition, but it is one in which the industrial growth society is turning toward something more life-sustaining. What we are living through right now in this country, the silencing of media outlets, the shutting down of critical government services. I've read about things like this that have happened in other countries, in other decades. And I never thought we would be in this sanctuary in the position of wondering just how strong is this democracy. But here we are. And there's a lot about right now I don't know. But I do know that as the unraveling continues, our faith calls us to hold on to the center with our deep and abiding love. And it's the center that holds the people who are most at risk of harm by these failing systems. People, living, breathing humans who have inherent worth and dignity, who deserve to be seen and cared for, people who absolutely 100% deserve to flourish in this world. That's the center we are hanging on to with deep and abiding love. Imagine our hands locked together around that center. I believe in humanity. I believe that this country is redeemable. And I believe, as hard as these times are, I believe that we will get through it together. Theodore Parker, one of our Unitarian religious ancestors, spoke about his enduring belief in a good and hopeful future. His words will likely sound familiar to you. He wrote these in the 19th century. I do not pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one, and my eye reaches just a little way. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by the experience of sight. I can divine it by conscience. And from what I see, I am sure it bends toward justice. This year, these high holy days, I'm not able to participate in a Tashlik ritual. But if I could go, my own pockets would be heavy. They'd be full of stones, evidence of all the times that I cut my ties with what I understand as life and love, that I've turned away from forging deeper connections in my life. But the Tashlik ritual and our Unitarian Universalist faith, it reminds us that we are not meant to carry those stones forever. We are meant to let them go. One rabbi said, you don't have to live with a stone on your heart. And as each stone leaves our pocket, we become lighter, and we renew our commitment and our convictions to set aside fear and to instead, with our pockets empty, feeling free, we lift ourselves up to restore our connections with one another and to live our lives in love, to live our lives in hope, to live our lives in peace, and to live our lives in joy. And let's sing that hope into being with our closing hymn, number 95, There Is More Love Somewhere. And I invite you all to rise and sing out your commitment to live in hope and love and peace and joy. Number 95.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere, somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. And take the hand or shoulder of somebody near you. The flames from our chalice and candles, they've been extinguished. We carry their light with us. And may the light from this community fill your lives with beauty, hope, compassion, laughter, and ongoing connection. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen and blessed be.